Daniel Jones has officially arrived in Indianapolis on a massive 2-year, $88 million deal, a move that officially forces us to scream for the shoe. Because the era of quarterback instability in the Circle City is finally meant to be over. Shout out to the loyal fans watching from all over, especially our dedicated crew representing in Indianapolis and across the state of Indiana. We see you holding it down for the Horseshoe every single day. This is the pivot point for our 2026 campaign, and we are breaking down why this contract changes the entire landscape of our roster. Before we dive into the deep end, hit that like button and subscribe to stay ahead of every single snap. Let's get into the chaos of the quarterback room. Daniel Jones is now the man tasked with steadying the ship for the Colts in this 2026 season, and the franchise is banking on his veteran presence to solve a problem that has plagued our front office for years. This $88 million commitment signals that the organization is tired of guessing at the most important position in professional football. However, the arrival of Jones immediately turns up the heat on Anthony Richardson Sr., who remains on the roster but is clearly watching his future in Indianapolis slip through his fingers. The team is actively looking for a trade suitor to take on the former 4th overall investment, and the fact that he is still on the block is the worst-kept secret in the league right now. This is a massive shift in philosophy for Chris Ballard. We've seen him build through the draft, but bringing in a high-priced veteran like Jones suggests that the window is wide open right now, and management isn't willing to wait for further development. It's a gamble that hinges entirely on Jones, proving that his previous production wasn't a fluke. And if he can lead this squad to the postseason, the contract will be worth every penny. For the fans who have been begging for a consistent signal caller, this is the news you've been waiting for. But if you think the drama stops with Jones, you haven't been paying attention to the rumors swirling around the supplemental draft. While we all want to believe that the QB carousel has finally stopped spinning, the reality of the NFL is that depth charts are never truly set in stone, especially when a franchise has a history of taking risks on players with checkered pasts or complex college resumes. The team is still clearly exploring every single avenue to secure the future, even if it means looking toward unconventional methods like the supplemental draft to keep the roster talent level high. Richardson's shadow still looms large, but the focus has shifted entirely to what Jones brings to the field as we push toward kickoff. While we are all focused on the immediate impact of Daniel Jones, the rumor mill is spinning with news that Brendan Sorsby has emerged as a potential dark horse target for the Colts. Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated recently highlighted this possibility, pointing to the upcoming 2026 supplemental draft as a potential landing spot if Sorsby is denied eligibility at the collegiate level. Now, let's get into who this guy is, because his path has been anything but linear. Sorsby spent time with the Indiana Hoosiers before making his way to the Cincinnati Bearcats, and he is currently looking to make his mark with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. His college career has been a roller coaster, marked by a sports gambling controversy during his freshman season that has definitely raised some eyebrows in scouting circles. Yet, when you look at the stats, you start to see why an organization like the Colts might be intrigued. During his tenure with the Bearcats, he was nothing short of electric. We are talking about 24 games where he put up over 5,600 passing yards and 45 touchdowns, while also proving he's a dual-threat weapon by adding over 1,000 rushing yards and 18 scores on the ground. That kind of production doesn't just happen by accident. He also made significant strides in his accuracy, jumping from 57% at Indiana to nearly 63% during his time in Cincinnati. It is a level of improvement that scouts dream about. Does this mean the Colts are planning to move on from Jones? Not necessarily, but it does show that the front office is doing their due diligence. We have to remember that this is the same front office that isn't afraid to take a chance on a player with a complicated history. Think back to running back Seth McGowan, who faced serious legal trouble before the Colts gave him a shot in the 7th round. Ballard doesn't shy away from talent, even if it comes with baggage, and that's why Sorsby remains a name to watch on our radar. Let's take a look at the current depth chart, because it is absolutely packed with intriguing storylines that fans need to understand. Beyond the headline-grabbing Daniel Jones and the trade block resident Anthony Richardson Sr., we have Riley Leonard in the mix as well. It is a crowded room, but it's intentional. The organization is clearly trying to cultivate competition, wanting to ensure that whoever is taking snaps under center is the absolute best option to lead this offense. But wait, we can't forget about Seth Hennigan, the former Memphis Tigers standout who is currently grinding on the practice squad. Hennigan put up eye-popping numbers in college, and the fact that the Colts signed him to a futures contract for the 2026 season shows that they see something in his game that could translate to the pro level. Having 4 quarterbacks in the rotation is a clear message that the days of rolling the dice with unproven entities are over. But why keep looking at supplemental draft prospects like Sorsby if you already have this much talent? The answer lies in the ambiguity of the situation. We are in a win-now mode. If Richardson is moved, the team needs a developmental prospect who can step in if Jones struggles or faces an injury. Breer's report suggests that teams that didn't use premium picks on QBs in the draft are going to be hunting in the supplemental pool, and the Colts are squarely in that conversation. It's a strategic play. By keeping these options open, Chris Ballard is essentially creating an insurance policy against the unknown. It's tough, it's competitive, and it's exactly the kind of environment we expect to see at the Colts facility. We aren't just building a team for one season. We are building a foundation that can sustain winning for the long haul. Every move, from the big money contract for Jones to the low-key look at Sorsby, is a calculated step toward bringing a championship home. We want to hear from you. Does having this many arms in the room make you more confident in our offensive outlook, or does it make you nervous about the lack of a clear-cut leader? The supplemental draft is often misunderstood by casual fans, but it is a critical tool for a team like the Colts that is looking for every possible edge. Unlike the regular draft, which follows a standard format, the supplemental draft acts as a safety net for players who fall through the cracks due to academic or eligibility changes. This is where the Brendan Sorsby situation gets really interesting. If Texas Tech denies his eligibility for the 2026 season, he becomes a candidate for this unique selection process. While some might view it as a desperation move, a smart front office views it as an opportunity to acquire talent without giving up standard draft capital in the following year. Chris Ballard has earned a reputation for being aggressive when he spots value, and if Sorsby is truly available, we could be looking at a situation where the Colts pull the trigger just to keep him away from our division rivals. It is worth noting that Sorsby's journey is truly unique. His ability to adapt to different offensive systems, from Indiana to Cincinnati, shows he has the mental makeup to handle the complexities of an NFL playbook. Yes, the controversy from his freshman year is a factor, but the Colts have shown they are willing to mentor players through their past mistakes if they believe in the talent level. As we look at the trajectory of this 2026 roster, it's becoming clear that the goal is to eliminate any excuse for failure. We have the veteran in Jones, we have the former top prospect in Richardson, and we have developmental prospects like Hennigan and potentially Sorsby waiting in the wings. It's a philosophy of depth over everything. If this team truly wants to compete for the AFC South crown, they need to know that if the worst happens, if an injury occurs or if performance flags, they have a contingency plan ready to go. The front office is doing its job. They aren't sitting on their hands while the rest of the league improves. They are being proactive, and for the fans who live and breathe Colts football, that level of effort is what we deserve to see. Ultimately, the Colts are in a position of power right now, despite the noise surrounding the quarterback room. By signing Daniel Jones to a major deal, they have signaled that they are ready to compete at the highest level immediately, and everything else, the trade rumors for Richardson, the interest in Sorsby, the depth chart shuffling, is just part of the process of building the most competitive team possible. We are in a high-stakes environment where every decision could be the difference between a playoff run and a rebuilding year. For the faithful fan base, this is an exciting time because we are finally seeing the team make bold moves to put the franchise in a better position to win. We want to know your take on this entire situation, so sound off in the comments below. If the Colts have the chance to draft Brendan Sorsby in the supplemental draft, do you think they should go for it, or should they focus solely on making this version of the roster work? Let us know your thoughts and stay tuned because this is going to be a wild season. For the Shoe.